All right. So you just learned about camera settings a couple days ago and you feel like you improved a lot. And to some extent you have, but you haven't improved enough. See, there's still more to Rocket League than just camera settings. You probably went to your settings and you saw control. And you probably got scared to touch those because you was like, why'd I need to touch these? They seem perfect. The game recommends it. So why didn't you touch these settings if they feel just fine to me? And to that, I would say no. They don't feel fine. Don't get adjusted to them settings. So grab your full boost as we want to double tap our way and possibly miss into these camera settings. Camera settings. That was last video. Come on, Tech. Get it together. Controller settings video. Let's get right into it. All right. So first up, we have aerial sensitivity and steering sensitivity. These two are basically the exact same, only different is steering is for the ground and aerial is for when you're in the air. The higher this setting is, the faster your car will respond and the more sensitive it is to your joystick. The lower the setting is, the slower your car will turn, and also you will have more control with this setting. That don't mean crank this setting all the way up to max and think, oh, I'm going to beat this player to the ball because my car can move faster. No, that's not how this works. What you want is you want to be able to control your car, but you want your car to also be able to respond to your joystick movement the way you want it to at the same time. So with this one, I recommend between 1.3 and 2.0 for both of these settings, and you're good. Keep in mind that if you do 1.3 for one of them, do 1.3 for the other one, because this helps with keeping things balanced and also consistency. Next up is the controller dead zone, which determines how far you have to move your left joystick in order for the game to register your input. Having it on high settings mean you have to hold your joystick out further from the center, while having low settings mean less movement from the center. So really anywhere between 0.05 and 0.1 is a good spot to be. Because just like sensitivity, you want the game to register your input as fast as possible. Also, if you think you have a drift in your controller, stay tuned and I'll go over a way on how to deal with that. Next up, we have dodge dead zone, which works the same way as controller dead zone. Only difference is you'll want this setting to be much higher. Reason being is because if this setting is low and you try to go for a fast aerial, you'll do a backflip rather than an empty jump. You don't want to be in games backflipping when your name is called for a save, like that guy. So with this setting, I recommend anywhere between 0.6 and 0.8 and you're good to go. So if you think you have a drift in your controller, what you want to do is just boot up any save replay that you may have. It doesn't matter what it is, just boot it up. You want to pause that replay, then go into your settings. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You want to make sure you're not attached to anything first. You can either go you can just be here in the map, or you can be here in the middle of the map. It doesn't really matter. You get the same results. So what you want to do is you want to go to your controller dead zone, turn it all the way down, and then right now you should start seeing that the camera is moving on its own, which always doesn't mean that there's a drift in your controller. With the setting just being that low, it's kind of sensitive to everything, even when you're not moving. I know that kind of sounds like tech, you got a controller drift then. That's what that means. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't always mean that. You'll know if you have a drift in your controller. Trust. It's like a feel thing. Yeah, it's like a feel thing. You'll know because your controller stick won't feel like your joystick anymore. So just trust me on this. So now that my camera is moving, what you want to do is you just want to go up a tick until you see that it's not moving anymore. You just keep doing that. I'm going to display a controller for you guys. I now have a controller display for you guys, so that way you can see what I'm doing with the camera, or with the camera right now. So I'm moving the camera, kind of flicking it a bit to see if it move. It's not moving. There it is. I'm not touching the controller right now. Since it's still moving, I go up another tick. I see that it's still moving a little bit. Go up another tick. It's not moving. So to test that, flick it around, see where it is. And right here seems to be good. Oh, there's some drift. All right, so there's like a teeny bit of drift. You can technically use 0.4, but if you want that maximum, driftless security, 0.5 is, pretty much a good spot to sit at. So yeah, if you're higher than 0.5, of course, keep doing this method until you get to, a precise place to where that drift don't exist anymore. Because if you have a controller drift, it would drastically mess with your accuracy when it comes to touching the ball and pretty much just doing anything. So that's why we give the 0.5 to 0.10, and you can also go up to 0.15 if necessary, but most of the time everybody sits between 0.05 and 0.10. So that's just a quick tip on how to get rid of controller drift if you think you have it or if you feel that you have it. Lastly but not least, we have keybind or controller bind, however you want to call it. It's the same thing. They're all the same thing. I am using a Xbox controller, so if you're using a PlayStation controller, try to translate to your controller as best way possible if you can. So with this setting, you want to leave everything default except for boost, power slide, and air roll. Reason being for having boost on RB is because you want to be able to do everything at the same time when boost is needed. You want to be able to boost and jump, you want to be able to boost and flip, boost and power slide, pretty much boost whenever you need to with another action involved. You want to be able to do all those things without having a pause in between. So make sure you do that. Put boost on RB and you're good to go there. You don't have to touch it, you're good. With power slide and air rolls, reason why you want these to be on LBs because you can't do one when you're already doing another. So with power slide is when you're pretty much drifting along the ground to make a sharp turn or just to carry your momentum. That's pretty much the power slide. And since you're on the ground, since all four wheels are on the ground, you can't air roll when all four is on the ground. And pretty much same vice versa. When you're in the air and you're air rolling in the air, you can't power slide in the air. So these two, they cancel each other out, and then on top of that, you save up 2 buttons on your controller that can be used for a later keybind that you would need to learn. So make sure if you want more information on that, let me know down in the comment, and I'll get you that video as fast as possible, best way I can. And yeah, but for the most part, most people with these keybinds, most people play with a standard grip, which is the middle finger on the triggers and the index fingers on the bumpers, and then your thumb controls the top of the controller. So unless you play with a claw and a claw grip, I don't know how to help you with that. That's something that you would have to experiment on your own and find out what button works for your creepy claw grip. I don't know. Some people do play this game claw, but I am not one of them. So yeah, that pretty much sums it all up. One last thing before I go, I want to stress that
consistency
is key. And even though you may have followed this video step by step to get the most optimal settings for you, your playstyle, and your controller, I want to stress that please take the time to get used to these settings. I say about a month should give you the results you want or you need. Give it about a month before making small adjustments here and there for it. Don't switch it every single day, because if you switch it every time you boot up Rocket League, you're messing up muscle memory that you built the previous night. And by messing up muscle memory you built the previous night, you won't play at your 110. And by not playing at 110 because you messed up muscle memory for the previous night, you want to improve. And the whole point of you playing this game, pretty much, other than just playing it for fun, of course, is that you want to improve so you can be able to hit flip resets and, you know, all these other cool shots that you're seeing out here. So be consistent with this controller setting. Be consistent with pretty much all your settings that you have right now. Try to give it a month to get accustomed to it, and by the end of the month, if you feel as though something is wrong with it, do an increment of 0.05 adjustment to whatever you're making adjustments to. Don't go from 80 to 60 for your dodge stats, because you really won't see much of a difference. You won't see much of a difference if you just jump from 80 to 60. If you have your dodge stats on at 80, go down to 75, test that out for about, I don't know, a couple days, see how it, you know, feels for you. And if it still feels kind of weird for you, then go down to 70.7, and then just keep working your way down that way. Go in a 0.05 increment, and you'll see more of a difference when you do that, rather than just going from 80 to 60, you know, and then think everything's going to be good, because it's not. With that being said, that would be all for this video. Please leave a comment down in the comment section telling me what you want me to make a tutorial on next. Also, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because if you're new and you're not subscribed, you're not going to rank up. And by you not ranking up, you want to improve. And by you not improving, your muscle memory will always be reset, because you're not subscribed to this channel. What are you doing? Why are you not subscribed to this channel? It is free. Come on, I know you like free stuff. Just go ahead and press the button. Go ahead and subscribe. Come on, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Come on, subscribe.